3, 2, 1, and you're live.
Alright, I'm live and I'm alive. Show on the road. Let's see if I can get Twitch chat up. So late, it has become early.
Yep.
Alright, time starts in 5, 4, 2, 1, go.
Uno con la cresta da indiano qui al molo? Se ispezionassi la barca.
Aspetta, vuoi vedere una magia?
So I'm, like, extremely tired and possibly a little cranky, so... Fair warning. Hi, Katsuma. Thanks for checking this out. I don't know if what I'm gonna say during the run is gonna make the least bit of sense. This is inFAMOUS, First Light. In the inFAMOUS series, we play as conduits, individuals with the genetic ability to manipulate and weaponize certain forms of matter. The player character of this game is Abigail Fetch Walker, who was introduced as a supporting character in inFAMOUS Second Son. She has the purple hair. Her dominion is over neon gas, which also affords her super speed. First objective is to run from the cops on the dock that have caught us and our delinquent brother trying to escape town on a boat. And yes, this is actually what I'm supposed to be doing, just standing here for about a minute. I will be doing this run at AGDQ, not to brag, it's just bringing it up in the course of commentary. I can imagine this being a spot for greetings from Germany, let's kill cancer. I literally just stand there for about a minute. That felt like an extremely fast phone call. That's good. Now, I would ordinarily say the first thing you're probably noticing is that the game is running in Italian. You might not notice it this time since Ash instructed me to set the game volume very low. But the game is running in Italian. There's a reason for that. It's neither for the lulz, nor the memes, nor anything of the sort. And we're going to see an example of why coming up right here. We get to this apartment. This is our next objective. Phone call between Fetch and Brent ends right as we get here. In the English language dubbing, there's about 5 seconds more of dialogue there before we can enter the door. First little bit of speed tech is right here. We move to the right. We take these guys out from range, even though the game is telling us to run up and punch them. If we take them out from range standing by the bodies there, it despawns 2 additional enemies that would come up behind us. Blow ourselves up. Luckily we're a conduit, so we have fast healing. Now we're just gonna run back to our boat and try to make it out of town after all.
Sei stata tu? Cosa è successo? Era pieno di russi che ballavano intorno a una bomba.
Merda, gli oculati. L'hanno trovato.
Trovato chi?
Il mio capo. Sapevano dell'attico, quindi sapranno anche della barca. Dobbiamo partire.
They've decided to leave town even though they didn't get the literal boatload of cash that Brent promised from that job at the penthouse apartment. If we run into the water here, we're prompted to press the touchpad to respawn on dry land, and it actually is a favorable respawn. As long as we go out a certain distance. If we don't go out far enough, it will respawn us further down that street we were already running on. Now Unfortunately, this game has no direct connection to the Clovercraft Infinite Saga. Boat blew up and Fetch is wondering where Brent is.
Non morire. Quando sentivo di perdere il controllo, mi concentravo su Brent. Era l'unico modo per mantenere la calma. Aggrapparsi a un ricordo piacevole.
And we can skip the cutscene by quitting out to the PS4 home screen and reloading the game. This is a PS4 Pro with a solid-state drive. Even on a normal PS4 with a normal hard drive, doing this is faster than watching the cutscene. Hey Alibaba, thanks for sticking around. This is the core conceit of the game. This is the present. Scenes we just saw earlier are 2 years prior to these scenes. Fetch is held captive in Curtain K... What is the official name? Curtain K Station. It's an anagram of Conduit Sanctuary. It's basically a conduit prison. And Augustine, she's the big bad from Infamous Second Son. You know her face if you've seen that game. She's trying to train Fetch to be a DUP super soldier. That's the conceit of these battle arenas. There's 3 of them. We are about to do the first.
Ma non fare niente di stupido. Come sempre, in fondo. No, Miss Walker. Sei una superstite.
Oh, it's your misfortune, Alibaba. Excellent series. And for you, Bunjoran.
Ognuno ha un punto debole. È sufficiente trovarlo.
So this is introducing the weak point kill. Allowing us to focus to dilate time, which shows enemy weak points. You'll notice I keep the focus button pushed down so that I don't dilate time at this point. That allows me to move the cursor just a little bit faster.
Non male, non benissimo, ma sei appena all'inizio. Preferiresti dei bersagli conosciuti? Notevole, vero? Questi ologrammi a luce solida sembrano reali nell'aspetto e nella sostanza. Ora, per favore, uccidi. Non sparo alla gente. Eugene, il conduit che crea gli ologrammi, non si offenderà.
I think I've missed the chance to show you, but in this cutscene when Fetch speaks, her mouth actually moves. Which is quite the attention to detail on the part of the developers, if you ask me. Definitely want to end that fight with 3 shots, because you can. So the task in Alpha Arena is to rescue 10 hostages being held captive by their holographic captors. First 3 are always in the same place.
Molto bene. Ho nascosto un secondo ostaggio qui intorno. Ma questa volta dovrai salvarlo in fretta, altrimenti morirà di una morte atroce.
Got a little force menuing here to introduce the upgrade system. Luckily, the upgrade you are required to buy is actually extremely useful. Photon jump. Now, Augustine wants us to demonstrate photon jump here, but if we don't, it's actually by a minuscule margin faster, because it skips some dialogue coming on, or some text, I mean to say, coming on screen. So now, we have to save 7 more hostages. If we stand right there, this hostage always spawns in the same place. Try to take those 2 out in midair. Do not collect the first hostage. If you leave the first hostage uncollected, there will be no delay between waves. You see how the next one spawned in immediately. Had I collected that hostage, there would have been a 6 or 7 second delay. I have a hard time aiming in midair. I can collect this guy. Not quite as instant as I would like, but still faster than it would have been had the arena been totally clear. That guy's hiding from me. He's being a jerk. It's not truly random where the hostages spawn in. There's maybe a dozen fixed locations, but it's as good as random. Oh, come back here. This is so bad. New waves will spawn in near you, but it's only guaranteed to be near you on the horizontal plane. They could be above or below you. Which is why, if it's ever possible, I like to be on the very top or very bottom of the arena when a wave spawns in. It's not often possible. That's another one that's just one guy. Yeah. Always want to take those out without having to run all the way over to them. Screw you, dude. And we definitely want to work our way back toward the first hostage when that wave spawns in, because we can collect that hostage now, just go to the last hostage, and complete Alpha Arena. Oh, you're not dead. How quaint.
La tua prova per ostaggi è stata appena sufficiente. Registriamo tutti i punteggi e mostriamo i risultati degli altri convoy per irritare e stronarti. Io sono sempre disponibile.
Oh, there we go. That's my audio key. There is some force menuing there, but you can enter it yourself. Obviously, it's faster than doing it before the game tells you to.
Basta per ora. Siediti. Vorrei che riprendessi il racconto di quanto accaduto a Seattle.
Dopo una notte passata alla ricerca di mio fratello, sono tornata a ciò che restava della nostra barca. È lì che l'ho incontrato. Anche lui cercava Brent.
That's Shane, Brent's boss. Brent made mention to him on the phone during the prologue. Didn't hear it, and even I'm sure you didn't hear it, and even if you did, it was in Italian.
Ho visto un tizio con la cresta da indiano a girarsi da queste parti.
Aspetta, tu conosci Brent? Sei uno dei russi.
Gli aculari.
In the English voice acting, these two characters are voiced by Laura Bailey and Travis Willingham, two very notable voice actors who are in fact married. They make a super cute couple, too. They have a tendency when they appear in the same thing to play characters who want to kill each other.
Non so quali fossero i tuoi rapporti con Brent, ma...
È mio fratello. Aiutami.
Cosa? Tu sei...
Bailey, of course, also voiced Fetch in Second Son. Travis Willingham voiced Reggie, the brother of the main character in that game.
Sua sorella fosse tanto graziosa.
They were not friends.
Dimmi solo dove cercare.
Yeah, she's asking him where to find the occurrence. He says go east. Interesting to note, the marker for the next mission is actually to the west.
Sì, certo, come vuoi, tesoro. Cerca soltanto di non farti male.
I used to say we run to the west for this mission, but we no longer actually have to run.
Devo preparare la città ad accogliere la...
It seems so impossible. Actually faster just to load the autosave. Even on a normal PS4 with a normal hard drive. course, it's faster still on a PS4 Pro with a solid-state drive. There is one save warp I'm gonna do that is only faster on SSD, and it's only faster by a second, as opposed to just running. I will point that one out when we get to it. So we've released neon clouds all over the city that will make our traversal that much simpler. We've also released neon lumens into the air. These are our upgrade points. Collect as many of these as I can. I'm gonna try to get a spawn manipulation here. I do not believe I got it. No, I didn't get it. On the water tower is the normal spawn there. You can spawn about 2 seconds closer, basically right above the marker for the race. You're supposed to chase after the neon fatty here, but you can actually get ahead of it. Just have it come to you. A little more forced menuing to introduce these side activities in the game. Of course, we won't be doing any. Here comes a major gatekeeper of whether you get to have a run or not when you're grinding for a PV. First you kill... Okay, that's not a good start. Kill that guy. Then we try to get a in-game trick called triple takedown, and I did not get it. I already know I didn't get it. That gives you 3 upgrade points, which give you an important upgrade to get to speed up your traversal to the next marker. There's a backup for it, and even if I miss the backup, it doesn't irrevocably kill a run. It just puts me a little behind on upgrade points. Triple takedown is when you kill 3 enemies with weak point kills within 1 focus. And there's exactly 3 of them there, so not a lot of margin for error. In the next mission, we will come to a spot where there are, in fact, 5 in an enclosed area. And if I get all 5, that will also award me with a, achievement called Sting Like a Bee, which, that one's not worth 5 upgrade points. I don't remember exactly how much that one is worth, but it is worth a few more, so kind of a silver lining if you go for the backup and get it. I would have ordinarily gotten my first upgrade there. Sadly, without triple takedown, I do not have enough for it. Winds up costing about 8 seconds in this traversal to the next marker. It's pretty significant when you're going for a PV. I say that even though I'm 5 minutes off of the record. And my current PV doesn't actually have triple takedown. So he's loaded up this truck with guns he's stolen from the rival gang. So there's a lumen there. I believe that gives me 8. Why does that only give me 7? Am I missing a lumen? It doesn't matter too much. We're gonna get plenty of lumens during this mission, but I don't know why I'm missing one already. That should have given me 8. Those guys don't really matter. How do I get that? I guess I'll get this...
Alright, bear with us, chat. We're gonna get this issue resolved. It's OBS for you. Alright guys, just hang in there. We're getting this sorted out. Oh, that's wonderful. Give me a second, I'll take a look at that. Just keep retrying, that's all I can say right now. Hopefully this is working. Alright, we got video, I think. Alright, you can try to start playing if if we got video here. I see you're on a map screen, that's all I see right now. Alright, looks good. Alright, goes on a road.
Sorry for that interruption, guys. Back and going.
This is an auto-scroller. You kill things. These two trucks here matter because they will chase and kill you if you don't take one of them out. But if you take one out, the other doesn't work. You only need to take one out. At this point, the truck is lava. We are not going to touch the truck till the end of its levels, because we're going to be collecting lumens.
Ok, torniamo in strada. Dovremmo essere al sicuro. Forse.
Questi idioti non si arrendono. Hai idea?
Ho un piano di fumo. Ma devo aspettare il momento giusto. Lei è pronto con l'autobus? Sì, sto arrivando.
Un autobus. Ma chi è?
It is actually super tricky to do this without failing the mission. So, see if I can pull it off.
Questa sì che è lungimiranza.
Yeah, we're weirdly one lumen short. I don't know why. The game wants you to ride the truck all the way to its stopping point back there, but we don't have to. We can take off towards the next marker as soon as she says, I have Brent, who keeps me grounded. Or she says it in Italian. There's an invisible wall there that fucks me up every time. One of these days I'd remember it's there.
Se non vuoi un buco laser,
Se ti dicessi che ho già sminzagliato qualcuno a chiedere di fuoco a tempo, ti mando le loro posizioni. Cos'è questo pubblico che hanno raccolto questo?
passi dal viscido al simpatico nel giro di una frase.
The fastest way to move is jump dashing. You go through a cloud, you jump, and it's not instantaneously afterward, but a very short moment afterward, you dash, and that's the fastest movement you can have. So we have a few fights here between Shane's men and the rival gang. This one we can end with one shot. If I hit the guy, we can end it with one shot.
Shane, il tuo uomo respira ancora.
Something cool by this other one, if I can pull it off. Spoiler alert, I probably can't. Well, it might have worked. We released the singularity as soon as we... Yeah, it did work! We released the singularity as soon as we trigger the fight, and it instantly resolves it. It looks cool as hell. It actually only saves about a second, because you can also win that fight with only one shot.
Convergere da Olaf, il ristorante vicino al porto. Io mi nasconderò sul tetto e aspetterò il
Hey, Omi, thanks for making it. I don't think you can actually softlock there, though.
Io mi piazzerò dietro al locale con furgone. Quando tu
You can always load an autosave.
i ragazzini ce l'abbiamo.
So now we just kill things. Hopefully quickly.
Shane, li ho tirati su di me, porta via i tuoi uomini.
Definitely try to use unfocused shots here. They take less time than focused shots. Plus they have a bigger... See, after I hit someone, there's a little explosion. It's larger with the unfocused shot than it is with the focused shot. So you can take out 2 or even 3 guys at once if you place them right. See, there was a triple. That was pretty cool.
Benissimo. Se vogliono finire...
Of course, it's not a time save if you miss. That one's very hard to get them as they run in. You can get a triple on that side, too. I've done it. It's very hard. Sometimes the guys like to hide behind that tree. Sometimes they like to hide behind this building in the foreground and just be where I can't possibly hit them, which is cheating. Not the good kind of cheating, like the Dark Souls cheating. There we go.
Shane, i tuoi uomini stanno bene. Hanno trovato Brent.
Certo che hai motivato
Cook some lemons.
È stato incredibile, ragazza mia. Tu sei la morte in persona.
Non sono un mostro, ma devo aiutarmi.
Interesting to me, the line in English there she says when Shane says she's the Grim Reaper. The line in English is, I'm not a monster. The line in Italian is, non sono monstro malo, which means, I'm not a bad monster. As if there's a good monster.
A volte non sei così male, sai?
Vuoi dire che finalmente io farò il cowboy e tu il toro da cavalcare?
I tori sono maschi, amico.
Sì, dai.
Next mission introduces the other major character in the game, Jenny. She's a tech worker for Shane's gang, and you can tell just from how she introduces herself that it's reluctant that she works for Shane.
Scusa, chi hai detto di essere?
In the English voice acting, she is voiced by Ashley Johnson, another well-known actress. Our mission here is to scan these cameras to see which way this current gang member went. There's 5 of them you can scan, but only 4 of them you have to scan. By skipping one, we will get a dialogue skip in the post-mission, which makes the next mission marker spawn in faster, and I'm too close to that one. Nice memes. Nice memes. Yeah, Yomi, I hope you're not expecting skilled play. Tsukuyomi, by the way, is the world record holder. My PB is 119.26. This run will be a lot longer than that. Reki is 114.53. What we didn't see was that guy actually murdering a dude up above, and when we run past the crime scene, we'll get the dialogue that would have happened when we found it the first time, which makes that happen earlier than it's supposed to. Next up is the finickiest, is that a word? Most finicky skip in the game. I have never gotten it in a marathon run, and I have done this run at a lot of marathons. I am fully prepared to get this at AGDQ and just lose my shit. I'm short of lumens, so I'm going to grab that.
Alcuni dei miei sono vicino a uno dei nostri furgoni. Tu proteggi. E loro ricambieranno il favore dopo che Jenny avrà violato quel telefono e ci dirà dove è tuo padre.
So the idea here is this event spawns is complete when all of the enemies are killed. It's possible to do this singularity in such a way that they're all killed with just the one singularity, but it didn't work that time. It's actually been quite some time since I've gotten this skip. Yeah, see how many more there are? Every time we think we have this figured out, we don't. This is way more than usual spawn in. If you miss the skip, you want to make sure you kill the sniper last, because if you kill the sniper, another one's just going to spawn in, along with another wave down below. If you... further waves down below won't spawn in until there's another sniper. Okay, looks like we're clear. Get the sniper, and yeah. As many as, I believe it's as many as 5 snipers can potentially spawn in, but there will never be any reason to see any more than 2. Now we have a little gang fight over by the Space Needle. Dialogue skip by these boxes. You probably didn't notice it, but Shane did stop mid-sentence and start saying a different sentence.
Anche dopo aver salvato Brent,
Now we just fight things.
No, il gruppo sta arrivando. Se finisco di tu concentrati solo su me.
There's one in a white suit that I want to make sure I get. I don't actually see the white suited one. This might be good. Go up here and get these assholes. Oh, that spawned cars in faster than I thought it would. Cool. Once these cars pull up and they step out of them, we shoot off the singularity. This should clear the area. And spawn in another phone call with Shane. We will use that time to collect more lumens. It did clear the area.
ho visto il gran finale del tuo spettacolo pirotecnico. Trovi gusto a torturare e massacrare. Mi dai i brividi.
Io voglio solo aiutare me. E no, non mi piace. Io e Brent non facciamo cose del genere.
Yeah, we've optimized the downtime in this run pretty well.
Scopra come sei fatta davvero.
There's not a lot of just standing around doing nothing left.
Ti adoro con tutto me stesso.
Se sono viva è solo grazie a Brent. Quando la gente vede cosa so fare.
Oh, this isn't right, is it?
Posso
Se tuo fratello è ancora in circolazione, perché tieni il freno avanti? Preparati a sbattere. Jenny sarà tutta le tue.
I don't think that's the one I'm supposed to get, and I didn't get it anyway.
Quando sei pronta, troviamoci.
I did this right so many times in practice. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I went a block too far. Brother. There's a lumen up there I should have gotten.
Sei tu? Io e i ragazzi siamo in fondo al parcheggio. Vieni, salta sopra.
Another auto scroll here. I've considered learning to do this one one-handed so I can take the marathon favorite, the auto scroller selfie during the AGDQ run. I probably won't do it. Potential for fucking up is too high, plus it's kind of cliched. And I'm supposed to up. So I got rapid fire, neon capacity upgrade, and extended cloud burst. Extended cloud burst doesn't matter all that much on its own. We mainly get that one to unlock the double air dash ability. What air dash is it allows you to, while you're in midair, start a horizontal run without losing any of your altitude. Ordinarily, if you dashed in midair without air dash, or after one if you don't have double air dash, you would immediately start falling toward the ground. It's actually even more useful than it sounds. Completely lost count of how many lumens I'm missing. Make sure to get that one. And I will certainly try to get this one.
Via i tuoi di starmi dietro, non voglio nessuno.
Yeah, I think I had something a little unusual happen there. One of the trucks suicided that ordinarily doesn't. The last one always does. But one of the ones in the middle did that time, and that does not usually happen. Yomi, do you get that one? I can't remember. Seems slow as hell, I can't imagine you do, but as I said, even on my own reduced route over what world record holder does, I was missing a couple. One of Fetch's lines while she and Shane are running away from those guys is, who gave these guys a driver's license?
No, non adesso!
Nice red arrow there pointing us where we need to go.
No! Brent!
And surprise, surprise, Shane's a bad guy. Specifically that one on the docks, though, Yomi. Do you get that one?
Ma dovrò metterti dei soldi per pagare.
Seems very slow to get.
Poi potrai arrivederci. No!
Although, I did get to the cutscene trigger before the cutscene started.
Qualche altro lavoretto. Fetch.
Now, the way the cutscene skip works is when you have a cutscene that has another cutscene after it, you can skip it by quitting out to the PS4 home screen and reloading the game. But not a cutscene followed by two cutscenes, because the game doesn't give you a favorable autosave in that case. We used to think it was the comic book... Okay, yes, thank you. We used to think it was the comic book style cutscenes, that's what made them skippable in this way. But then Yomi found out there's a motion captured cutscene towards the end of the run that is also skippable, because it's a cutscene before another cutscene.
Sì. Vuoi vederlo? Avanti. Fatti sotto con qualche scagnozzo.
Now, there are a handful of instances where Italian dialogue saves time over English. I think it saves, what is it, roughly 20 seconds over the course of the run? Not insignificant.
Vedrai il mio vero potenziale.
Don't think that one counted. That one counted. And that one counted. Did the first one count? The first one did count. Okay, cool.
Notevole. Perché non me l'hai mostrato prima?
Forse perché non mi hai dato un
Right,
modo
Yomi?
che spingessi a farlo. Mandami qualcuno del DUP e vedrai che fuochi d'artificio.
Attenta a cosa desideri. Segui le linee gialle e resta al
Welcome to
centro del-
Beta Arena. This is where your PB pace runs come to die.
Non puoi.
The phrase RNG shit show very much does come to mind.
Ti sto permettendo di attaccare
Yomi, I'll tell you, Alpha's worse. He's crazy.
che tu non mi nasconda nessuno dei tuoi poteri.
D'accordo. Per anni non ho fatto che fuggire da loro. Combatterli è più divertente.
I do this differently than Yomi does. My way's probably slower, but it's the way I'm used to doing it. Just wait for... There's 3 introductory waves here. Just wait for the third one. You start to spawn in, you see the timer get to 3, and then shoot it off. That should clear the arena. Nope, there's one guy behind me. 2 guys behind me. Oh, son of a... Are you kidding me? Are you... Okay. So next is Turret Whisperer. Somehow mastery over Neon lets us override gun turrets? I don't know, go with it, because video games. First one's always in the same place. And we have 2 more. Note that the turret shoots bullets before you override it, and it shoots neon beams after. Those neon beams can actually hit and hurt you. Yeah, those are good turret spawns. Where the turret can possibly spawn that you don't want it to spawn is over here. A, because it is so far out of the way, but B, because you can also drain neon while trying to override it. It's the same input.
Molto bene. Un'arma non è che uno strumento con cui raggiungere i propri scopi.
Ehi, non sono un tuo giocattolo. Continui a parlare della mia collera provando a entrarmi in testa. Fammi combattere e basta.
Molti agenti del DUP erano come te. Conduit smarriti a cui serviva il mio aiuto per controllare i propri poteri.
Okay, so now we have to survive 10 waves.
Sopravvivere.
They should more or less spawn the way you're facing, so they should be pretty much in front of me. Oh, I'm off to my side. But that's still not where I wanted to make sure they didn't spawn. So... Oh, have I? Holographic ammo crates can explode holographic soldiers. Because video games. Wave 5. I just hit easy mode. You do need a singularity, that's the name of this power. You do need a singularity coming out of Beta Arena, but in Wave 6 to 10 there are enough, and what the heck? Why are you so scattered? In Wave 6 to 10 I cannot recall this happening before. In Wave 6 to 10 there are enough enemies to get another one. Even if that singularity had cleared the arena, which it was supposed to.
Il tuo corpo è un'arma. Quando ti abbiamo preso, puoi imbavagliare la stanza.
This turret is our friend for the first part of the second half.
Perché ho intravisto del potenziale.
I'm gonna override it right as this dialogue ends.
No, sei qui per ciò che hai fatto. Vuoi sfogare la collera? Allora falla con furia.
And if these spawns come in front of us like they should, the turret might even take out 3 waves if you're fortunate. These are bad spawns. These are also bad spawns. These are really bad spawns. This is where I didn't want the introductory waves to spawn. And then we get Augustine Trash Talk, which is just an RNG time loss. Bishop conjures concrete around your ankles. All the DUP soldiers are named after chess pieces. The basic ones are called pawns, as you might guess. There's also knights, rooks, bishops, the king. The queen is Augustine herself, of course. Smoke is Fetch's kryptonite. If she gets caught in a smoke bomb, she is a helpless little kitten. Why does it take that many shots to kill you? Yeah, if you can see on the radar, a turret has spawned in beneath me. That is not a great sign. I should be clearing this arena challenge before the next turret spawns in. Okay, don't want to die here, because that would send us back to Wave 6, which would suck. This is Wave 10. Okay, I got rid of the big guy. Is that everybody? I think that's everybody. Everybody. A little more force menuing. You can actually soft lock the game here. When it when it tells you hit triangle to pull up the worldwide leaderboard for the arena challenge. If you hit it too fast, you can soft lock the game. It just freezes. Or if you mash it too fast. All apologies to Mash in chat.
Con gli aquilani fuori dai giochi, il nuovo obiettivo di Shane era il capo della polizia, nella speranza di costringerlo a scendere a patti. La sua promessa era che se l'avessi aiutato, se avessi obbedito ai suoi ordini, avrebbe liberato lei.
So there's
Stava mentendo.
3 lemons very close to where you spawn in here.
Quali problemi?
Il DOP sta strellando i miei in giro
There. Can't get it. So I'm gonna upgrade for the final time, get double air dash, neon capacity.
Magari ai tuoi uomini qualche trucchetto per sfuggire al DUP.
Abbassa la cresta, ragazzina! Vedi, se mi stanno addosso...
Wait, you're coming up on time soon?
No!
Tranquillo.
Okay.
I said I upgraded for the final time.
Nel complesso per attirare qualche DUP e avere più margine di manovra.
For a minute there, I thought I had to do something again.
No worries.
Ok, DUP. Oggi vengo io a bussare a casa vostra. Vediamo se vi piace. Sono veloci a costruire.
So Shane has tasked us with releasing some of his men that have been captured by the DUP. Who are basically the anti-conduit army. The strat here is to open the first 2 cages. And you'll see why we have our singularity. We shoot it off, making sure we don't shoot it off into the holding pen. That would pretty much ruin everything. While it's in the air, come down here and open the 3rd cage, and everything should be done once it detonates. And of course it isn't. Of course some asshole is still alive. Why are you still alive? Why are a lot of you still alive? There's just no reason you should still be alive. Oh my god. Sometimes, though, you will see an enemy show up as still alive, but this phone call still spawns in. I don't quite know why that happens when it does. Next mission is at the Science Center, which is clear across town. You have plenty of time to get there. You have all of this phone call, plus one that introduces the next mission.
Lascia la città prima di venire in mano al DUP. Hai visto, tesoro? Se ti comporti bene io posso darti il potere. Se mi ostacoli, avrai solo punte. Ho saputo che tuo fratello è in mano a Shane. Mi dispiace, ma lo conosco. Finché sa di poterti usare, non lo lascerà mai andare.
Parli per esperienza personale.
Io voglio aiutarti, ma deve restare con noi, ok?
Science Center.
Fuori dello Science Center.
Probably know more Italian than you ever thought you did.
Jenny, mi senti? Novità?
Sto mandando un programma sul tuo cellulare. Vedi l'app per i video.
So this mission tasks us with destroying these police drones.
Sono le immagini trasmesse da un drone della polizia.
Thankfully, they spawn in the same place every time.
Sta corrompendo gli agenti. Quindi, se vuoi cercare tuo fratello senza farti
We're gonna want to take these guys out. It is actually quite important that we take them out. We will see why shortly. Next one is right by this pretty sunset. There it is. We've got our marker indicated for the next area to go to, which is this building with the brewery sign on. That is a lot faster than I usually get there. But it's a trap. It's a chopper with DUP soldiers ambushing us. It's RNG how many soldiers you face in the ambush. Can be 2, can be 3, can be 4. 3 is by far the most common, and that is what I got this time. I'm trying a somewhat new strat here of taking out the soldiers before the chopper that Tsukuyomi suggested to me, and it is probably gonna get me killed. But that's alright. Where's the 3rd guy? Did I get him? I didn't think I got him. This is one of the main reasons we have rapid fire. Is take down this chopper all the faster. I guess I did get him. Were there only 2? I thought there were 3.
Stai bene? Mi dispiace, da qui non posso distinguere i droni dagli elicotteri.
Tutto a posto. Non sono io quella che è esplosa in 1000 pezzi.
Mando le altre posizioni dei droni. Vorrei avere un indizio sul luogo in cui Shane tiene suo fratello.
Potrei e più che abbastanza.
Shane sposta sempre i prigionieri.
Ok, sei ufficialmente perdonata per la storia dell'elicottero. Dimmi dove andare e vado.
Where the hell am I?
Vuole prendere posto degli attuali che sta in prigione nei container dovunque crei problemi. Incluso mio fratello. Sì, ma non so in quale episodio. Ne hanno arrestati 4, tutti ben sorvegliati. Quando comincerai a forzarli avrai solo qualche minuto prima che Shane lo scopra. Quindi dovrò fare...
I should have done that faster. Of course, I missed the cloud. And the conceit here is that every time you go through a cloud, you get a little bonus to your time limit to make it to the next box, where we're searching for Brents. But as you may be noticing, you don't actually need to go through a cloud, you just need the effect of going through a cloud. Before the cloud effect wears off, you can activate it 2, even 3 times. Sometimes, maybe even 4 times. Sometimes just when messing around, I've just tried to see how much I can get that timer up to. I've gotten it to over 3 minutes. This run here is a little spooky. It's not the shortest distance, or it's not the longest distance or the shortest time, but it's the longest distance against the shortest time. I have actually failed this, but only once. Always worries me a little. And I never seem to take exactly the same way twice. Can't let anyone surrender? Again, we will see why in a moment. So the next box we're heading to is the last one. Brent has to be in this one. Except, spoiler alert, he's not. Yeah, that's really not even close to what I was trying to do. Why do I have 3 extra kills? That's crazy. Not in the 3rd box, so we're gonna get a little ahead of the game here. Shane's on the phone now. We end up following the signal to Jenny's phone, but we already know where she is, and by she, I mean her dead body. This is sort of funny in English. If you know where to go, you can get fetched to this point before she says the line, put her on the phone, while we're looking at her dead body. Oh, that's right, so I could have totally let somebody surrender in that mission. Oh well.
Molto brava. A non lasciare che Jenny sia morta invano. Fai quello che ti dico quando te lo dico e risparmierò tuo fratello. Sai una cosa? Troviamoci sul Pioneer Building. Ci sono poliziotti del...
This is the load warp that's faster on SSD. I have to wait for the mission marker to spawn in, or else it would be a lot faster, and obviously faster, and probably faster even on normal hard drive. This one is definitely not faster on a normal hard drive. Just running is faster. It's very close even on SSD. The difference is only about a second.
ok, Shane?
So Shane is now making his bid to take over the city of Seattle.
Il poliziotto che ho pagato mi ha fornito l'accesso alle telecamere. Questo è un filmato in diretta.
E allora? Sono solo agenti.
Sì, stanno proteggendo il capo della polizia. Un uomo che non vedo l'ora di incontrare, ma senza il suo nutrito entourage.
Io non uccido i guardie per farti fare due chiacchiere con il tuo amico. Li distraggo io. Mi basterà seminare un po' di scompiglio per attirarli.
Oh, but
Fai quello che vuoi.
so Shane now wants us to commit enough destruction in the city of Seattle to draw the police's attention away from the police chief. Best way to do that is with a singularity.
D'accordo.
If you do it right, one singularity fills up the destruction bar, and that's pretty much how it's supposed to go. Now at this point, we head over to act as a sniper for Shane's actual meeting with the police chief, where he will... What's the word I'm looking for here? Extort him, I believe is the word I'm looking for here. Various cops and DUP will run down this alley. We must snipe them. If even one gets through, it's a mission failure. I'm again trying not to use focus shots, because of reasons. That warning is for enemy snipers coming in. The sniper doesn't actually come in until those two guys are dead. So it's a bit of a fake-out job by the game. Yeah, I'm not playing very well right now. Whatever. Now we have our singularity earned. Let him pile up a little down there and shoot it off one more time. That should end the encounter, and it did. Shane is getting the same deal from the mayor of Seattle. By the way, the mayor of Seattle is... I think that's a bit more interesting now than they meant it to be when this game came out. To give him the same deal the Curran gang had. And Shane has directed us to this building where he's keeping Brent, except spoiler alert, he isn't. We're stuck in here, so I like to kill the soda machines. And the trash bin. But mostly the soda machines. You can out of bounds here, but there's no reason to. It just completely breaks the game to do that. You can't progress forward. Yeah, I always run around here because when Fetch stops running, that's when I split. I'm just used to doing it that way.
Quando sentivo crescere il panico, mi concentravo su Brent. Era l'unico pensiero.
Getting tired of the soda machines. Yeah, that is possible, isn't it? Another cutscene skip. Really hope I didn't do that too fast. Oh, that's good.
Shane aveva Brent. L'unico modo per salvarlo era trovare un accordo.
Mi spiegheresti come hai fatto a uscire da quella galleria? Hai ottenuto un altro potere da quella allucinazione?
Ok, sì, te l'ho tenuto nascosto. Di nuovo.
This is the final new power, the rocket power. It's pretty cool. Yomi actually gets upgrades for this ability because he's amazing at this game and I'm dog shit at this game. I don't have enough lumens to do it. He would have about 20 at this point, I think. I have 4.
Mi sento bene. Dammi un avversario più forte.
Come vuoi, Miss Walker. al centro del corridoio. Sembri tormentata da diversi demoni. È il momento di affrontarli.
Augustine's lines of dialogue in Italian that are much shorter than they would be in English, but this downtime between the end of the dialogue and between these demons spawning in is much larger in Italian, so they're obviously just meant to spawn in when they spawn in. Also, she talks in English about the conduit who makes these holograms being, quote, obsessed with a video game about demons. Shout out to the Demon Souls runner from earlier. See if I can actually kill this guy. Practice run the other day. Took me about 30 seconds to kill this guy, and I might be threatening that mark. Oh boy! This guy just does not want to die. He leaves those stupid spiders. It's better. You kill the spawner by destroying the orbs that surround him, that orb it him.
La collera è uno strumento con cui controllare la realtà circostante. Siamo complici. Il mondo è ai nostri piedi.
Third and final spawner. That was a lot less painful. So that's Gamma Arena. It's pretty short.
Hai potenziale.
Vedo che ti stai divertendo. Asseconda questa sensazione.
I question why these are here. You don't need them to reach the center platform.
Hai visto? Sei brava quando vuoi. C'è un futuro per i conduit capaci di lasciarsi il passato alle spalle. Ora dimmi come va a finire la tua storia.
Shane mi voleva morta. Mi restava un'unica opzione, passare al contrattacco. Purtroppo non sapevo dove fosse lui, o tantomeno mio fratello.
È morto. Me lo auguro. Spariamole qualche altro colpo. Così, per stare tranquilli.
These guys die in one hit. Taken to actually bolting that guy since he runs.
Dovranno pur parlarsi in qualche modo. No, un auricolare. E della mia musica.
There's 6 trucks in the city of Seattle bearing Shane's drugs. And I should have started a dash toward that one. First one's always in the same place, the last one's always in the same place, and parked in the same place. 4 in the middle circulate around the town. Tsukiyomi, who as I said, is amazing at this game, can just, like, run straight to them. Like, every time. I use a manipulation strat. What you're supposed to do is go up and ping those video dishes like I did at the beginning to reveal the presence of this one truck. You have to do it with the first one. If you load the autosave, it resets their position. One, yep, should be close enough to find without even pinging the dish. Just normal ping reveals its position. One stasis blast destroys the contents of the truck. Which is a bit weird, but glad it works that way. Tag the trucks because, I don't know, because the game tells us to. Next truck should be very close by. There it is. Knock on the door, shoot some missiles. With just the right timing, that can entirely clear the truck. That guy's surrendering, we can let him surrender.
Neanche un capello.
Continua a distruggere le mie merci. Te ne fai
Truck number 4 should again be very close by. And it's not. I would have already found it by now. Guess I will have to ping a video dish. It's that one over there that I need. So I was running entirely the wrong direction. That's unfortunate. But I can't find my way around a town like this in real life, so it's tough to know for me in a video game to say, okay, you're here now, turn left, and a mile later turn right, and yada yada yada. Should be just about in range. Ping again. So that's bad, having to ping 2 extra times, but I guess it doesn't really matter if this run is any good.
Ok, se l'acqua spegne il fuoco, cosa diavolo spegne un neon? Ah, qui c'è luce dappertutto! Qualcuno mi dica dov'è! La ragazza al neon! La ragazza al
See there, it cleared the truck entirely. UP ambush, this is what we have a singularity for. Mancha mi culo, literal translation of the colorful phrase, bite my ass. At this point, we load the autosave again. This is more to get our stuff back. When we load this autosave, we will again have a singularity and missiles. And had we purchased them, melee finishers, but those are not part of the route. It's a cool upgrade, though. I did a run of this game that was melee quote-unquote only, air quotes only. You can't truly do it only. There are some places where you absolutely have to use bolt. But using melee for every other kill was surprisingly a lot of fun. Especially upgrading the melee skill tree, which allows you to do dash strike recharges of melee finishers, which is a lot of fun. Knock on the door, shoot the missiles. Those guys have smoke bombs, but if you time your missiles right, doesn't matter. They say the last truck is always in the same place, it's all there. As I said, I cannot navigate around a city in real life, so doing it in the video game, no thank you. It's less of a time loss for me to, take 2 seconds to open the menu and place a dot than it would be to, what the hell, run around the city for 10 minutes trying to find it. This is why we wanted our singularity back, because once we land by this truck, we fire it off. This will come close to clearing the area. Unfortunately, more backup will be called in, so there's still a ton of dudes to fight. How are you not dead? There always ends up being one or two guys on the outskirts because the game apparently expects you to fight your way in, which is a little silly. Even in my very first casual playthrough, I came into this area from above because, of course you would. That singularity will prove important. Now remember, the prompt when we do this neon graffiti is tag the truck. This neon graffiti is done with the motion controls in the 6-axis motion controls in the DS4 controller. They are terrible. How does this qualify as tagging the truck? It kinda doesn't. See if I can find the crocodile. That's the name of the building that Shane is in. It's based on a real-life nightclub in Seattle. I have had trouble getting to it in recent practice runs. I either don't run far enough or I run past it. This is it right here. Shane is inviting Fetch to come face him at the crocodile. Here we are, but Shane has a little surprise for us. Saved a little extra for you. You want Brent? Go fetch. That's the English dialogue. And at this point, we actually bump up the difficulty of the game, if I can find the right menu for it, to expert. Because we're gonna want these guys to kill us. And on easy, they just don't kill you fast enough. Get the singularity. My general rule has been singularity plus 2 kills. Because they can kill you too fast. It's even happened on easy, it's very rare. Everything in here still works the way it normally does, even though you have no HUD. Like, I think at this point we're safe to die, so let me step out into the open. Yeah. Come on, kill me. Certainly the higher difficulty level also reduces Fetch's healing factor, so you don't get an annoying heal in the middle there. Eventually that scenario will simply end, but if you meet the minimum requirement and then just die, it's faster by a significant margin than letting it play out. It would go on, like, minutes longer if you let it play out in its entirety. These are like flashbacks and Fetch's fractured memory to when her family turned her into the DOP. Or tried to, anyway, and when she and Brent went on the run.
Non piangere, Abigail. Il DOP troverà una soluzione. Lei ce l'ha promesso.
Lei dov'è? Fetch! Scappa! Dai!
We just run forward toward this ghastly figure hanging in the distance.
Posso battervi tutti!
Io non ti abbandonerò!
Non puoi prendere le cose degli altri.
Non è come pensi!
And prep your Bible thumps
Dove diavolo è?
that you don't get to use because we don't watch this cutscene. We can skip it. But, yeah, Brent's dead. Brent's dead. Fetch killed him. But since that cutscene comes before another cutscene, we can skip it, even though it's motion captured. And even skipping it like this, again, even on a normal PS4 with a normal hard drive, it saves a whopping amount of time. All that cutscene is her realizing she's inflicted the fatal wound on Brent, him with his final breath forgiving her, and her weeping much like this. But Even just with that little amount in it, the cutscene is like 45 seconds long. It's crazy long.
Hai perso il controllo. Se tu potessi, lo uccideresti?
Augustine now has a little surprise for us.
Allora fallo.
Fetch, fammi un favore, piccolo. Potresti dire a questa bambola che sono un uomo? Assolutamente normale.
She also tells Fetch that she already knew her story, but wanted to make her relive it.
Per tornare al momento in cui ti sei arresa.
Maledizione, non sono uno di quei vostri.
Shane begs for mercy, Fetch has other ideas.
How close are we to the end there, Emerald?
About 10 minutes.
Alright, perfect.
If you'd like to cut it now, that's fine by me.
No, I expected that with the technical issues, so that's fine.
Okie dokie.
It's all good.
And now we're chasing after Shane, who has taken one of the armored personnel carriers UP have. That massive burst we let loose in the cutscene has rendered us powerless. Luckily, that will only be a temporary state.
Il metallo è entrato in profondità. Dovrò prenderla con calma.
This kind of makes me question where Curtain Cave Prison is supposed to be. It's actually a physical edifice in the Seattle Free Roam. It's marked as Curtain Cave Prison. You can enter it to do the arena challenges. In post-game, that's what this game meant for itself to be its replay value. For me, that's speedrunning. But except for maybe 1 month every 4 or so years, there's never this much snow in the Seattle area. Not this mountainous either. Mountains are quite a ways away.
Ma nessuna traccia di Wolf. Ricevuto. Abbiamo inviato i droni a cercarla. Ma fate attenzione in strada. Con questa tempesta abbiamo difficoltà a tenerli in volo. Ricevuto.
I have never been to a GDQ. The forthcoming GDQ will be my first. You're probably remembering Harvey Relief then, Quick, where I did this run. I don't know, there is a mountainous area about a major mountainous area that probably looks a lot like this, about a 4-hour drive from Seattle. So that's probably the inspiration, if nothing else. Well, Alaskan Way is just the name of a road in actual Seattle. That is a literal road that exists in real-life Seattle. Drone crashes? There's 2 rare glitches you can get here. Well, the first one is the drone not crashing. We've averted that one. The second one is you drain the drone, which always sounds weird every time I say it, and the game doesn't think you did it. And all you can do is get a mission failure screen and reload. Thankfully, we didn't get either of those. They're both quite rare. I've gotten the drone didn't crash glitch 1 time ever. I've gotten the it didn't think you drained it glitch 3 times ever.
Hey, isn't this like the start of the game?
In what sense?
Or maybe I'm thinking it starts differently. I don't know. You started in like a cold area in the start of the game, did you not?
Well, the opening cutscene, which we didn't see, does show some of the, snowy mountain area outside of, Curtain Cay Prison. Yeah, I just loaded a save file. Yeah, I just loaded a save file from the beginning of when you actually take control, because that cutscene is like 4 minutes long, and watching it every time you reset a run is painful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can skip every loading trigger in this final chase. You can't spawn in the end of the game, though. You have to hit all the triggers. The inFAMOUS series is notoriously like that. You can, in a sense, sequence break it, but then you have to go back and put it back together. Yeah, no crash cost me the sub 80. That happened in my 120.07 run. But skipping the loading triggers does reveal a few interesting things. Like those rocks there, that I had to run in the little gap to the left after the rocks fell down. Those rocks do not have collision. If you skip the loading trigger, there is an invisible wall there with the exact same dimensions. And the exact same little gap on the left. We've tried to skip loading triggers to see if we could skip this cutscene. This cutscene alone is nearly 30 seconds long, so it would sure be nice to skip. But we have not found a way to do it, and I would reckon that there is no such way to do it. Alright, I don't know if you're still keeping time with the stream picnic, but it's gonna be in about 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm still running. Just give me the signal and I'll
Yeah. Skipping loading triggers also reveals that this blood trail and these footprints are pre-rendered. But this cutscene, I did manage to do it. This cutscene is actually procedurally generated, because if you fire your rockets at the right time and the right angle, you can see them in the background. The blood trail and the footprints are always there.
Andiamo, piccola. Parliamone. Troviamo una soluzione. Stai dietro. Dannazione. Non ho paura di una tossica.
This may look like it's just a cutscene. There actually are R2 inputs, though. I'm just hitting them before they come up on the screen. That's why time hasn't stopped yet, but it does stop in just a few seconds.
Okay.
Brent's dead. I didn't kill him. You did. And that would be time.
Alright. So you got a 129.47.
I mean, with the stream downtime, that time doesn't really mean anything to me, but...
Yeah, I mean, it only added like another 4 or so minutes, so it's not a big deal.
Okay.
But appreciate you sharing this run with us. Definitely like the inFAMOUS games. I gotta finish more of them though.
Sure. Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm sorry if I wasn't terribly entertaining. I need to...
No, it was perfect. And you know what? I'm always happy to have new runs and new runners around and stuff like that. So it's always fun to see new stuff.
Super. I need to go catch a nap. I will turn off the stream now.
Yep. Alright.